It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you are at work, in the car, or wherever you are, we hope you enjoy this show about the great sport of geocaching. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can be part of the adventure tonight in the chat room and participate with others as they watch the show. If you are listening later, please give it a like and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app so that you can get all of the weekly Geocache Talk goodness.
All right. Big thanks to the Trail Bugs for the music and our featured patrons, Sodak Zach, the Deadliest Cachers, Terrell 2, Bob Billy, the Redneck Geocacher. Bob Billy, he's a big fan. Team D&D, thanks for coming down to Round Rock for the event. We'll talk about that in a minute. Peachy 1276, who also came down from Kansas. The No Code Geocachers, Marsipanic, Bricker John, Fire Safe, and our new patrons, Bounce Bounce, Poe Ann, 3 Happy Campers, Team Ewart, Practical Geocaching, and Atreides 78723. Kind of like 90210, I guess. I don't know.
No, there's another meaning behind it. I've heard him talk about it before, but
oh yeah, that's Marcellus.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to Patreon. Oh, sorry, I got a new one, Jesse, to make for this. If you'd like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page of the Geocache Talk website. Or you can head on over to patreon.com. Trying to make it easy. A little button. Push the button.
There you go.
For more details, patrons get the now famous blackout coin. Oh. That's okay.
Went out cashing this weekend.
That's good. Here's the original.
Yeah.
Here's this one. And I guess, did we ever show what we gave the patrons, or we're in the process of giving the patrons? I'll show that one real quick.
I don't know if you showed the finishing of the set.
Yeah, this is the coin we're giving patrons. We're starting to so Jesse, I'm starting to mail them best I can, and I actually handed some out this weekend because
I'm hand delivering a few.
Got to see some patrons this weekend, so I was pretty excited to do that. Lori drove down, and I had shipped hers to her, so it was kind of like, "Hi, Lori, your coin's in the mail." It's like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. I should have thought through it a little more. That she might. Where's the code? Oh, yeah. See?
That would be pretty funny with what we're talking about tonight. But
that's exactly right. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm sure you can just look it up somewhere. It's probably on Facebook.
It's probably on that Facebook page. Thanks, Jinxer05. She's right on top of things tonight. Let me tell you. So. Yeah, Stacy got hers. I got to see Stacy. It's beautiful and shiny. Thanks for coming to Round Rock, Stacy. Appreciate seeing your family, and hopefully your trip to the mega. A lot of people see IKEA. Stacy and her family went to the mega IKEA. I mean, it goes for miles. It's crazy. It's the largest store in the world. No, it probably
I'm with Eric. I might say that it's hard for me to say, but the original green is kind of. I don't know. I don't know if I had to pick a favorite. I don't know which one I would.
Yeah, the cool thing about the bling one is kind of weird in that it just is kind of.
What we haven't mentioned is we're probably retiring that set. You can't get any more green ones. You definitely can't get any more gold ones. The black ones exist, but now they're going into 2020. Who knows? We may be retiring that design. And
yep. And the gold one's kind of cool is they got the leaderboard on the back, the leaderboard challenge info on the back, it's different. It's a different leaderboard challenge on the back.
Yeah, so. I like that. And that was cool.
Yep.
And whether we get more information or not, it was still fun to get to be part of that first.
Yep. Julie D got to get her coin and to sign the Texas County Challenge. So that was cool to have not only patrons, Jesse, at our event, but we also but it was cool to have another patron, me, and then Susan, and then there were some others that signed, and Julie D got to sign. Her and her husband got to sign the.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
I was jealous.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for patrons to. Just FYI, we did record audio for the event that I had this past Saturday down in Round Rock for the signing of the Texas County Challenge log, and we'll be putting that out on Patreon very soon, probably this week. So you'll get to hear our discussions on that. So,
well, all right. It's a good point too that we talked about, kind of joking around a little bit, but
right,
we forget because we don't talk about it much because nobody wants to hear about our geocaching. We want to talk about topics and stuff, but we're still out there hard and heavy. You just finished your Texas Challenge, and I didn't get to catch as much this weekend, but I have a bunch of caching plans coming up, and we don't want to bore everybody with our adventures because they're on their own adventures, but it's fun to mention it every once in a while,
Oh yeah. We focus on the topics, and we focus on the guests, but you're right. The show isn't about you and I's geocaching, although sometimes interesting, for sure. But
well, we had a funny thing happen. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but me and a buddy that the guy that I always get into all kinds of trouble with, we went out this weekend, and there's an event coming up, and I swore we weren't going to hide a bunch of caches for this event, although we do it every single year, right?
Every year you do it.
Well, we originally hid like 30 Waragos and a puzzle, but we hid them pretty far away so that it would come out all at the same time of the event or whatever. But we kind of forgot about it. It's been out there for a while.
Right.
We decided, you know what, the event's coming up and people are coming into town. And this is like kind of the flagship event of this northern Colorado area every year.
Right.
So we're like, you know what, let's go ahead. So we went out and hid 9 multis and a Warago this weekend.
Right.
Multiple stage deals.
That's cool.
No tricks or anything. Yeah, winging it, Jinxer says.
Yeah.
But so we did that. So I can't tell any secrets if she knows what I'm talking about. So we did that, and we forgot that another guy was also hiding multis this weekend. So he had 25. We got back, and I actually reached out to somebody. I was like, hey, can you beta test this? And he goes, oh, that's funny. I was out hiding for the event too. I don't know how it worked out, but none of his locations crossed any of our locations.
That's cool.
I don't know. In 35 multis hidden for this event, and none of them crossed paths.
Wow.
I don't even know how that's even possible, but so we got extremely lucky. And so now for this event, the whole bunch of brand new caches came out. So or will be coming out in a couple of weeks.
So she'll plug your ears if you want to.
Yeah, I'm not going to give away any secrets on it.
Yeah. Here's Text Dave asks, because very few people see inside this ammo can.
Yeah.
Because, did you read the notes? I did. I read the notes in the 254 logbook. I didn't leave anything. I was going to leave a Salt Lick barbecue something swag of some time, but I couldn't really find any. What's funny is that I should have discovered. We'll talk about this tonight. There's some travel bugs in that ammo can, which is like the worst ammo can. It's the worst place to put a trackable, Jesse, because only 223 people in 10 years or something have ever signed the log. So
you know what? I actually disagree with you on that.
There's some lonely travel bugs.
I disagree, and we'll talk about that when we get into a little bit later tonight. But I actually disagree with you on that point.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why later, though.
Tell me why later. So
we'll get into that tonight.
But it was interesting. Yeah, I enjoyed. Did I rescue any? Yeah, see, that's a good point. I don't know if they need to be rescuing. They're safe and sound. They're in an ammo can that is not going anywhere. Well, it goes places, but eventually it just goes back to it goes back home. And so it's unique in the fact that it's a roaming cache, but not really a roaming cache because it's confusing. But yeah, that's very unique. But I enjoyed. I went back. I read different people's logs. I read Tom's, who's in the chat room. Electric Water Boy. I read what people wrote. And of course, he got on me. He's like, "You can't put TFTC." And we joked about it before. Jesse said, "You could just put +1." Not really, not really within the spirit of geocaching to go to all that trouble, and then to write that. So, actually, had Susan's much better at those kind of things. So, I had Susan write the log for us because she's a lot more eloquent than I am. So,
+1 then, right?
Yeah, D says you can't take any of the trackables. Well, there you go. I did not know that. Anyway, enough about that. Let's keep going. I left off. If you want to join about Patreon, we got way into that, didn't we?
Yeah.
Support level start at as little as Bison Tube level, $3 a month. Let me welcome my co-host Jesse.
And they've already mentioned that we're out of order tonight, so we swap sides.
We swap. We could go back and forth easily enough, but so next week, here's our guest for next week.
Oh.
So
yeah, we're all thinking about him right now.
Yeah, Craig,
so terrible what's going on over there.
We're ready to discuss some of the Australian fires. Hopefully, I noticed I saw a I don't know if you saw this, Jesse. I saw it again, social media, which we won't really talk about too much tonight, although we are going to do a show about social media and geocaching.
That's going to be an expensive show.
Yeah, March 1st. Angie, Geo Janji is going to join us, and we're going to talk about some of that during that period of time. But
you can help me not say a lot of bad things then.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh my gosh.
But I did see on some social media point, there was a picture of a bunch of firefighters coming off the airplane. There was a bunch of 30 or 40 or whatever it was. They're all deplaning to start the process of helping
good
with the wildfires. Yeah. So, crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So we do want to, at this point, mention one of our sponsors. I don't know if you want to pop the picture up while I mention.
I will try to get that going while you're.
Yeah, tonight's sponsor is Pink Sweet Designs. Pink Sweet is who we've used for our path tag, and I'll show our latest path tag real quick. But I'm really, really happy with the way it turned out. So if I can get it just right, there we go. I thought it turned out really, really good. She did a great job. She doesn't charge very much, and if you're like some folks who, come on, see if it'll focus. Oh well, maybe if I hold it like that, maybe not. Trying to get to focus a little bit. You can see there you go. There it is. All right, so I think it turned out great.
I like that path tag. It looks good.
It does. The good thing about Jen with Pink Sweet is that she is so great at designing them that if you have no idea, if you just scribble on a piece of on a napkin, we kind of think we want to do something kind of like this, and I don't know how to design it. Can you help me? She'll design it, and then you can then she designs it also in such a way that it's ready to go. So you can then send it over to pathtag.com. And if you have questions, she'll be able to help. But when we did ours, I'm like, is this okay? I mean, is this like, are they going to accept this? She's like, yeah, you're good. So it's like, all right. So I sent it over, and sure enough, now we chose to use her backing. She has a really cool backing on hers, but I mean, you don't have to, but I wanted to really try to promote her. So pinksweetdesigns.com, check it out and send your path tag business through Jen at Pink Sweet Designs. All right. Let's get into
hit the news before we get into our big topic.
Yeah, let's get into some news. We already kind of covered part of it, which was Texas County Challenge signing.
And I alluded to a redesign of the website if nobody's checked that out recently.
Yeah, go check out the website. We kind of mentioned it. There's the Become a Patron button is on there, but it's completely redesigned. I think it turned out great.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier.
Easily featured on the front page, so it's easier to get to because we're going to be adding a lot more stuff this year. So we want to make sure we make it as clean a design as we can, so you can get to it, not to get overwhelmed by everything that's on there.
Right. So I think, like you said, I think it turned out great. Website looks good.
Yeah.
So we did mention about the blog, and you said, it's much easier to read the blogs now. We're right on the front page.
Both on the front page, and they still have their own page too, but
they do.
They're and I don't want to spoil it, but it's okay. It's already out, so we just got to catch up, people.
Yeah.
Well, the most recent blog, and this is a call, so is kind of a call to action. And we need people. We haven't mentioned it lately because we had all the Podcast to Hope stuff coming up, and all the other things that we're planning before. But there's a new blog out there, and it's really a call to action. We need more blog posts, and she's got it set up perfectly now, where she's got the exact instructions in this blog post of everything you need if you want to get your own blog post out there.
Yeah,
it's shared. A lot of people read those blogs too. So if you've got that one story, and it can be about anything, but if you look, and I won't go word by word, but if you go through the post, you can see that she's got a few categories, and I've sent some in too, because obviously we have some stories that go along with that, but people already hear us. We don't need to send all of our stories in, but the best caching never found. I've got some good stories of those. It's a small caching world after all. Geocaching Ann, where she's kind of talking about how you mix other hobbies into geocaching.
Right.
Following the show. Now I was a little bit shocked by this one. The premise of this one, and you've seen these before, but if people think we didn't cover enough on the show and they want to get deeper into a topic, come on now.
Yeah.
Now, and she's got a few other you'll see some standard things that she's come up with if you want an idea for it, or if you just have that great story, send it in, and she can help you. There's a couple things like, name, caching name, pictures. You need some pictures in it too. You don't want just straight words. But so we need people to send them in. Send them in. Let's get a bunch of blog posts up there again and keep that going and keep telling your story.
Yeah, absolutely. Another quick note about news is, Derek's podcast came out. First episode of Geocaching with Kids this week. Big hit. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and it was neat to go to our podcast site, and because he did all of it, he did he uploaded it and the whole thing. So
yeah,
I felt like I was just sort of just watching on the side, and got to listen to it, and that was really cool. I really enjoyed that, so I'm looking forward to that coming out every second week of the month. Yeah. Geocache Talk Presents will come out this week, so you get another podcast to listen to. So that's kind of cool. So every second and third week of the month, you'll get 2 from us at least.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. I know Carson sent us an email, so I'm going to kind of ask that also of all of our listeners. He wants them all in separate. He's a little bit unique, I think, in the fact that he's got tons of podcast. I mean, I don't know. Some people have.
That's me. I'm with him though. I do. I have over 100 podcasts I'm subscribed to.
Oh my gosh.
But that's what I mean. I commute.
Right.
So I listen to them constantly. They just go in my queue. And the good thing is though, with most of the podcast players, say if he only wanted to listen to Derek's show, which he didn't want to hear us, that makes me sad. But he could skip right over that, right? And not.
Yeah, I think so.
So on the same stream, for most people, it'll be convenient because it'll all be in the same place.
Yes.
For people that only want to listen to one particular, I mean, they may fall in love with Derek and never want to hear us again, and they just skip every other show then.
Yeah.
It's not every other show because we're adding more to it, but
right.
You can skip over to the next one. So trying to keep it all in one place for the most people that want it that way, I think is going to be the easiest way to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the best way to do all that for now. Is it's so much easier then because it really is all part of Geocache Talk. It's just another part of the network. And so anyway.
So the question came up in the chat room that where do people get a hold of those path tags?
Oh, path tag. Well, they're pretty much gone.
But we may have some by the time Mingo, or who knows? I'm sure we'll be handing out something. So
we'll hand out something. Yeah.
We always try to keep something that we don't send out that we're able to give people in person when we meet people, face to face, which we love that part of it. So
we sent a few to some of the patrons. We basically handed out a portion of them at Geo Woodstock last year. Mm-hmm. I've just got a handful left, so I'm just kind of sending a few of them. So. Yeah, just one of those things we didn't really. I don't know, just something we didn't send out.
We like to save them for those face-to-face meetings that we prefer so much. These big megas and stuff too. So
right.
So in sad news,
yes,
the time has come on Webcam Watch that we are now less than 100 enabled webcams in the United States.
No, seriously, really?
Yeah. We went down to 9. We dipped. It's like the stock market. We dipped to 98, but one of them got re-enabled. Re-enabled? I don't know that that's correct, but it's enabled again. So it's staying at 99 right now. So that's very sad. Less than 100 webcam caches in the United States.
Very sad.
Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, it's a type that, again, whether you like them or not, and I'm actually not the hugest fan of webcams. They're okay.
Yeah.
The CFO hates them, but
they're so rare.
We pick them up if we get close to them,
Right.
And again, we're kind of big fans of finding something. Right. So like a physical object, but get out. If you have a webcam anywhere close to you or you get anywhere close to one, get one. Because in about 5 years from now, people are going to be going, I wish I had a chance to get those webcams they used to have around. It'll be gone.
Yeah, those are very sad. I hope they don't all go away, kind of like they did with locationless caches, where at the end they just said, it's close enough. Let's just archive them all. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Don't do that. So, oh, well, very sad. All right. You ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm going to kick the CFO out of the chat room. I don't know if I can do that. I'm put her in timeout for disparaging where I goes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. We can. We learned you can do that.
Although I can put her in timeout for like 5 minutes.
You can.
Yeah, I'm scared to, so I'm not going to do that.
I don't blame you. Go ahead.
That doesn't apply to real life, so.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and try it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't think so.
No, I'm not going to do that. All right. So this week, the news started to circulating about this Facebook page, Geocache TB Spoiler was the name of the Facebook page.
We're not promoting that. We're just mentioning the name.
No, we're not. We're just discussing it. Man, there was a lot of travel bug codes, or not. We'll talk about the trackable codes. There weren't travel bugs, but there were trackable codes. And he had pages and pages of these trackable codes, and they were like right next to each other. So you got in one line, there's several, and there was lines and lines and lines of these travel bug codes, and people started freaking out.
Oh yeah,
people started getting, maybe even before that point, there was word of these people getting all these discoveries, and there were stories all week. And I was reading people who are like, Jeff mentioned about this. Yeah, it was a TB coin trackable code dump. Yeah, it was a big code dump. Put a bunch of them out there. And people are talking about how they responded back to the person or to the Facebook group and said, or Facebook group owner, and said, not sure how you got this. My coin is in a folder, and it's, it's on my library shelf, and there's no way you could have seen it.
Right. Do you want to kind of cover the back and forth, and then like we're doing now, and then we'll come back to kind of our opinions on a lot of this? Or there's so much to cover on this.
There is. Seebeck even says have a travel bug was discovered after being inactive. Many of them were, exactly. Yeah. Lori's exactly right. There was a lot of them that were inactive, but still could be discovered by this code dump.
So, and here's the thing. Do you know how this list came about or what they did to get this list?
I do not. That's the one thing I don't think they ever mentioned in their Facebook group. But
we're getting busted on the pates. We may have to order another batch of those.
Even
these gonna get you in trouble. So here's the thing with that, and I don't want to. I mean, my guess is, first of all, there's 6-digit codes, right?
Right.
It's alphanumeric. There's not that many combinations, so it's not like it takes a genius to figure out to pull a list.
That's a good question. How many? Well, see, now this trackable has 7.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of combinations, but there's also, it could be 7, right? But either way, I mean, you could figure that number out. I'm sure somebody in the chat room can, but it doesn't take long to just have a bot running to see which ones are active and which ones aren't, right?
I guess so. Yeah, but I don't know if you can log like that. I don't know if geocaching.com would.
You can log 1,000 at a time on log them all, right?
True, but they all have to be active. But I don't know what would happen if you tried to 1,000 and say 600 of them were not any good. Can you keep going?
I'm assuming you could.
Yeah.
I don't know because I'm not going to cheat, but I mean, it's not like it was before any conspiracy theories started or any of that other stuff. Somebody just ran a script is what they did, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
A script was run to test codes. Run the script for a long time and collected value. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that makes sense to me. So they probably just ran it and then now they're deciding to share it. So
yeah. Carl says that they claims they've been collecting them over several years, but yeah, right.
Well, that's funny since some of them on that list have never been in the wild.
Yeah. And a lot of people are upset. Obviously, like Coon and Bud's like, I'm holding back on my descriptive adjectives on this guy.
Well, Gary heard my descriptive adjectives before.
Yeah.
It is not appropriate for the show. So
not appropriate for our.
That's not appropriate for HBO. So
our G show. So it is interesting. We've got a couple things we're going to read tonight.
Yeah. To kind of get everybody caught up on the.
Missed it. So I did find something interesting. I went and I looked.
And then somebody would do the math.
Yeah, somebody did. Yeah. Thanks. Oh yeah, happy Hodag. Thank you. Yeah, that's a lot of combinations. So that take a while.
But there's how many active geocachers? I don't know.
Yeah, very true. So I've got a couple things I'm going to read you, Jesse. One is from the help page. Let me start with that one.
Yeah, and I intentionally have not read these this week to kind of be fresh for the show.
Right. So here's what it says actually on the help, the geocaching help, page, the index, the help index on the web on geocaching.com. And I've got a link we'll have in the show notes for if you need to get to the geocaching help page. So here's what they say. Well, I didn't put all of it in there, but here's the appropriate portion of it. Here, and this is quoting from them. This is a quote. Here are a few things to be aware of if your trackable is being logged inappropriately. Number one, some logs may be the result of geocachers keying in random tracking numbers. Number two, check if the tracking number is showing up in any photos on the trackable details page. Number three, trackable owners can delete logs believed to be fake or inappropriate. And number four is trackable owners can lock their trackable details page to prevent further logs, unquote. So
I respect what HQ is saying on that. And I understand that they're giving out good instructions.
Right.
And I'm all on their side on this one. But it makes me so angry that so you're gonna have to lock your trackable now. People purchase those specifically to have them discovered. That's why you have it, or you don't need a discoverable number on it, right?
Right.
That's a coin. Other than that,
right?
Like that's you want people to discover it. Like I have a tattoo on my leg. If I had to lock that so nobody could ever discover it again, I would be very angry.
Yes.
Heck, I don't know. My tattoo may be on that list. I didn't look through the list, so
that's interesting.
I mean, that's not okay in my opinion.
Did you check to see if anybody logged your leg this week?
No, and as we kind of get into it later, I wouldn't know if they did. So I don't check that.
Okay.
I don't even pay attention to that at all. But that's because of how I use my trackables, and we'll get into that when we do our personal stuff in it. But
right.
So an HQ is helpful. That's helpful, right? And by the way, that's anybody that doesn't go to that help page or doesn't go to the knowledge book online, you're missing out a lot of good information for the game. HQ updates that a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of good information on it. Julie D's tattoo was on it.
Interesting, isn't it?
So now what? She's going to have to lock it if she doesn't want anybody falsely discovering it?
You can unlock it, right?
You can unlock it every time you go to an event.
But I think if you just locked it for now and then waited 3 or 4 weeks and unlocked it, I wonder if you would be in the clear.
But the thing is, you shouldn't have to do that.
No, I agree completely.
That's terrible. That's ruining the game. But anyway, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. I'm going to get all angry and start yelling about this. So
yeah, you're going to get all yelly. Don't get all yelly yet. So there were some other things that came out. I actually have the response from geocaching.com that I'll read you. So here's the geocaching.com response that they wrote to any geocachers who are thinking about logging these trackable codes. And they were talking about the ones that were the code dump. Logging trackables that you have not seen without the consent of the trackable owner is not in the spirit of the game of geocaching. Those who log trackables in this way risk suspension of their geocaching account. Of course, if when we identify the person who posted trackable codes on this page, their geocaching account will be subject to action. It is very disappointing when people choose to create spoiler pages. Unfortunately, because this page is on the Facebook platform, it is up to Facebook to take action regarding the page. We encourage anyone who is concerned about the unauthorized sharing of trackable codes to report this page to Facebook. Trackable owners can always delete any logs believed to be bogus or inappropriate. You can also temporarily lock your trackable, essentially taking it out of the game. It can be unlocked later. To lock your trackable, visit the trackable page and select lock under actions.
Yeah.
Confirm on the next page that you want it locked. So that was their response. I'm going to go out and see if the page is even still up while you comment on that.
But yeah, does not. So here's the thing, and here's where I'll kind of defend HQ on this. I'm sure They are very upset about people doing stuff like this, ruining the game. But it doesn't do anything but draw more attention to it if they really came out and blasted them, right?
Probably so.
That's not just like that. These people are not in the spirit of geocaching. They're not. That would not be in the spirit of HQ. HQ is a game for everybody, and they try to let most people police themselves when it comes to this game, and
right.
Because it's most of the game is the honor system, right?
Exactly.
So and some people may think that HQ should do a lot worse. That they had to do a pretty dry response to it because they can't get into a fight with something they don't have control over. That's not what they need to waste their time on. So I kind of like their response. They're like, it's just like that pest in the corner. You're like, okay, whatever, go away.
Right.
You can't. If they go after them, they would just open another Facebook page. There's nothing you can do, right? Facebook does not care. With all the stuff controversy Facebook has with political stuff and everything else being posted on there, you think they're going after tracking codes for
really
the game? They're not doing that. So
they got enough to do. The page is still up. And we'll talk about a couple of their responses, which were lame. Sorry, but they were extremely lame.
Yeah.
They're writing some other information about. We'll get into here in a minute, but they're still putting codes out there. As of today, they're still logging these lots of, and they claim they're shared with permission, which they're not. But
Obviously not.
It's ridiculous. So here's the thing: if you log these, from what I understand, the latest I heard was that if somebody logs these, and I actually put a note, I got one of our listeners permission to that we can read his Facebook post that he posted back to them, because here's what his response was. So this is from Larry Eisler, with permission. He wrote this back to them. Okay. He says, "Good day. I just received a note that you discovered, in quotes, some of our geocoins from an online database. I find that interesting, in that our geocoin collection is in binders currently in our desk at home. Also more interesting is that those binders have not been available for public display in many years. We do not allow discoveries based on online lists posted by others. I trust that you will do the honorable thing and remove your discovery log upon receipt of this message. However, if you choose not to do this, I will delete it myself and add your profile name to the coins page as an example of the ever-growing list of dishonest geocachers that smite our hobby." I like that.
Wow. That is awesome.
In addition, your profile will be reported to Geocaching HQ with a recommendation of locking and or banning you from the hobby. It is your choice. Respectfully, Larry Eisler. And I asked him to make sure I could read that, and he said he absolutely would be okay with me reading that. So it'll be in the show notes in case you want to use that as a template yourself for doing that. But that's the other thing is geocaching.com is encouraging people, if they want to, they can report these whoever's discovering discovering them inappropriately, and they will look into that part. I'm sure they're getting inundated by that, but
But see, that becomes a pain, right? Like
it does.
I don't know what the average, and here I'll ask this question for the chat room. And people may not even know without going to look at the profile, but do you know how many trackables you own? So I'll ask the chat room that.
That's a good question. I'm looking around at my coins behind me.
Not the ones that I haven't activated, the ones that we own, and I like them. The ones that we have, I like, right?
Right.
And there's some that I keep on the shelf that have never been activated.
A lot of mine are not activated.
Now, the scary thing is people can sneak in and activate your trackables too. It's not that hard to activate a trackable.
Right. Dallas is around 30. Yeah.
So and people say, well, lock them or things like that. But now you're having to like take a game that's supposed to be fun and just, a fun thing and start checking these things all the time.
No, yeah, that's ridiculous.
That takes the fun out of the game. I have Trackables. I don't, and like Eric mentioned and somebody else mentioned in the chat room, I don't really care who, for most of mine, I don't really care who logs them, right?
I agree.
We go to events and I show Trackables to a lot of people, and when mine die, I have mine posted on my profile page.
Right.
May or may not be in the spirit of the game. I don't know, but they're mine. I'm posting my own, so I hope it's okay. But they're hidden. It's kind of a game on my profile page. You can go and find a bunch of mine hidden on there.
Yeah, Eric, we're gonna address this here in a minute about that, about the list they gave out well, let's do it real fast. And I don't know if Eric would agree, and we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
I'll see what you think, Jesse. But the point of that particular list was not to hold up the line, because people were coming in, were going to the volunteers let them know they don't have to stand there and try to scan 300, stand there with their phone and sit there and scan 300 trackables that you're looking at.
That's right there. That's the post of the night.
Most activated because of the leaderboard challenge. That's good. That's excellent. Yeah.
I would say the difference on that is
you viewed them, right? That's the point of that.
Not only did you view them, but that was the owner sharing those,
right?
With permission, the person that did it, right?
Right. Yeah. The people
sharing somebody else's, and a lot of times you'll see at events.
Right.
You know what? I don't know. It might have.
Jesse has hidden trackables somewhere.
Ruins the game, right?
Yeah, I got trackable.
One way to play with trackables and stuff like that. And
one right there. Should we not show that one? Are we gonna get in trouble?
Yeah. But you know what? You own your own. I think you can show your own wherever you want to, right?
Right.
Or you see at big events, people will they'll have a printed out sheet. They'll have their books there to those like CoinFest.
Yeah.
People sit at tables and discover each other's trackables for hours.
Right.
But a list, so you're looking through a book.
That one's got some cool QR code for your trackables at events. That's a good idea.
But I think that, again, what this all comes back to me for, what it all comes back to for me is you're choosing to share your own. You're not sharing somebody else's. You're not opening the keys to the kingdom. You're you're throwing it out there. And I think you'd be okay with that.
Direwolf has a good thought. But did you look at the trackable, or did you just take the list and run? That gets into another portion, I think, of the game. Direwolf really brings up a good point, which is me personally. And I think we've all had this situation. Well, not maybe everybody. I know you and I have had the situation where you're at an event or something, and people will say, "Well, here's my list," and they'll hand you a piece of paper and they'll say, "Here's my list. If you want a copy of all of my trackables." And I go, I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna log all those. I really, and I'm not trying to be offensive or, hopefully I won't, make anybody mad, but I didn't really see them, and I'm not really into logging thousands of trackables. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I only like to do the ones where somebody was at, either maybe we're in an event, or like the ones that were in and I didn't log the ones in the 254, the handful that are in, there's only a handful in there. I should have, because I'm one of the few people that can actually truthfully log some of the trackables. There's a few people who can, but very few people get to see the inside of the 254 Texas County Challenge ammo can. You can't see it unless you go to an event. You can't see it if you have to be one of the 200, and I'm number 223, which I didn't think I mentioned earlier.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. So we're up to 226. So you either had to be one of the 226 people or
more.
Right.
It may be on that list too, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
See, it just kind of takes something special away from the game because if you buy Trackable, you're doing it for what you want to do it with. And if somebody spoils it by just spreading that number everywhere, it's just, again, it's not, for me, I don't care. I do not care who logs my trackables. I don't even look at most of the trackable logs unless it comes through and there's like a good note on it. Then I'll read, right? But most of the time, I don't.
Josh wrote about there was a trackable lady at Gigastock. I don't know if I must have. there was so much going on at Gigastock, Josh.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure most I've logged at one time. That's interesting. You have to tell us about that one because, oh no, I think I do know. They were like covered in trackables when they walking around. I think that was the person.
Yeah,
but I'm like with you. I'm just like I'm going to log them if they mean something.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not as strict with it. I'll be honest. I've seen them before. Like they were in the movie Treasure. I logged all those. I've never seen the coins that go with it.
No, but those to me are ones that you're allowed to because the people who own that code want you to. And then of course this one.
Yeah.
This one was in the movie because we gave it to them, and of course people log it.
There's my usual MO right there. I take pictures of tons of them and never log them.
Saw her and lost the list.
But you know what? Like, I have a lot.
Oh, I did? I guess I did.
Just from over the years, and I've shared my whole list with people before.
Craig gave me a beer. That was the problem. Go ahead.
There you go. Like I have my own personal list. I don't post that all up online, but for my friends locally, I've given them my whole list before. Like, hey,
yeah.
Now they've seen them all from time to time at events because I'll bring them out and then I'll stop bringing them out or whatever. But at the same time, again, they're mine. I don't think there should be any rules on how you share your own, just other people's.
Right. Well, and see, I think what people were really and rightfully so, they were angry about was that, like Larry, who we used his email as a Facebook post as an example. There's no way people could have seen those. I mean, they've been in a binder on his shelf. Pardon me, and there's no way people could. So those codes were just found to be valid, but. Craig's right. TB scan is awesome, but again, TB scan is a little different in the fact that you're standing at a code and you're logging it with typically with phone. So TB scan,
yeah.
And I think that's the point of. Let's see how to put this. The codes like we use, like this one, this is not attached to a coin, the one behind me. I think at one point, was it? I don't know. We've used that. We've had that code forever. They are, and you can buy trackable codes.
I bought them before.
50 at a time, whatever.
Yeah, I bought 50 of them before.
There are codes hidden within within two of our books. I don't know if people have done really good about finding. You hid yours really well in there.
Yeah, some of them are more tricky than others in that book. Yeah, I had fun with that.
We've hid some on our website.
Yep.
So people can go hunt for those. I think that's the point of those was that they're there to be hunted in that sense, So it's a little different. Oh, there she is. Here, I'll show you the picture. Joshua just sent me the picture. So there's the photo. There's the gal, the lady with the. So
crazy.
Look at all those hanging. So obviously she's wanting them to be seen. I've shown the picture of her and Joshua. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Andrew. Project GC has blocked people from bulk logging trackables from the list on that Facebook page. So Project GC is sort of responding.
They're trying to be stand up about it, right?
Right. Yeah.
Good. So all in all, it's inevitable that something like this was going to happen, and it's probably been happening a long time. People just haven't been as brazen about it.
Right. Do you want me to, do you want me to get you more riled up? You want me to read you their response?
Yeah, go ahead. I knew it was going to happen. So,
so let me read you the response from the perpetrator.
I like that word, perpetrator.
He or she says, notes from the vocal minority. They're responding to us, the vocal minority. And I'll read the whole thing, and then you and I can talk about the blatant mistakes they made.
Okay.
Count the mistakes.
All right.
I thought I would take a moment to clear up a few misunderstandings. A name, word, or code is not subject to copyright. Again, I'm reading this. This isn't my words. This is the perpetrator's words. Permission to post is not required. And for what it's worth, permission runs deeper than that. What would newspapers be without freedom of the press? And this is a social media site. And they put media in quotes. You can bet your bottom dollar there's nothing illegal happening here. Intellectual property requires several things, the least of which are property, creator, and copyright. None of these things apply to this page. Don't believe it? Look it up. Don't want to look it up? Then don't complain about lazy gameplay. Secret or protected information. There is no expectation of privacy when codes are left outdoors in Tupperware containers with GPS coordinates indicating where they are to be found by anybody in the world. Trackables in private collections, lock them. Don't want them discovered? No big deal. Lock them and be done. People may question your sense of sportsmanship and your sociability, but nobody will begrudge your choice. Theft. Nothing has been taken or stolen. Trackables are exactly what they've actually been. Their codes are subject to the above notations. Loggers have never handled or seen the trackables. So what? The same thing happens at events in spades. Fraud entails financial gain by misrepresentation. Neither of these are present on this free page and makes no pretense to anything. If fraud exists, it's not here, and it's not with discoveries. Bombarded by notifications, turn off notifications. I'm not sure if cache and trackable notifications are handled separately, so you'll have to check for yourself. Obviously not a geocacher. They're not part of this game or sport. If they are not separate, then ask Groundspeak to implement distinctive options. He goes on. I don't want to read all this crap.
Yeah. Wow.
Ruining the game. Why? Because people don't play in the way you instruct them. Geocaching, he goes on. It's just the part that got me a couple things. One is he's not correct. You can't copyright a single word, but you can copyright a phrase or trademark. I mean, we're kind of going in both. They're
trying to publish a book called It and see what happens.
Yeah.
That should work out well. That's a single word. Go have fun with that.
Yeah.
This moron obviously doesn't think he's correct because he's hiding behind Facebook.
Right. Yeah.
Also, and you know what? He's welcome to come on the show. Get in touch with us, geocachetalk@gmail.com.
There you go.
Besides that, but he's probably 12, so he can't stay up this late anyway. But besides that, it's just like credit card numbers or anything else. You can't use things without people's permission, even if you see it. Right. I don't care if they lay it if somebody lays their credit card on the counter and leaves it there, that doesn't mean it's okay to go use it.
Right.
Besides that, it may not technically be illegal, but since he used
he or she,
whatever.
We're using he in the generic sense. So
yeah.
Could be anybody.
This is a 12-year-old boy. I know who it is. I'm sure almost. He may be 13. He may have already had his birthday, but you don't get this sure about yourself unless you're a kid, right?
Yeah, they're not gonna come on here and with their face and their
name.
What?
We're gonna do an in-person show. Hey, Mingo's an event where a bunch of us are gathering. We'd love to have you show up.
Absolutely.
No, but so here's the thing. May not technically be illegal, but it's not far off. if I'm going to use his fuzzy logic, it may be illegal because what you're doing is depriving people of the proper service of something they paid money for.
Right.
I pay money for a Trackable, knowing the intention is I get to share it when I want to. And this guy, without my permission, takes it and shares it out to everybody, thereby taking away the value of that Trackable for what I purchased it for.
Right.
That could be considered theft of services.
Absolutely.
Taking away the value of something I paid money for.
Absolutely.
Now, and I say me, although I don't really care about my personal ones because I share mine everywhere, right?
Sure.
That's just not part of the game. But I know people that really do, and there's Trackables that mean a lot to a lot of people. They're special, or they're in remembrance of a pet that's passed away, or a passed away, and they have a Trackable they only share with friends.
Right.
Why would you share that kind of information out there with people just to spoil the? Obviously, it doesn't take a genius to write a little computer program that you probably YouTubed to share these numbers, right? But why would you do it? You know what I mean? This is supposed to be a fun game that we get to have fun with, and somebody's going to go and just be that person.
Yeah, they're trying. They think they're cute and they think they're funny by, oh, I found your Trackable code and I'm so clever. And it's like, it's not clever. You're just being a jerk. There's no reason to do that.
There's a lot of things you can do. Didn't mean you should do them.
Right.
And this is one of those things, and this really kind of co-opted. We kind of wanted to talk about the ethics of geocaching in general. I mean, not geocaching, but the ethics of Trackables. And we're going to put a lot of that for another show because this is just one of those things that,
That's for another show.
That's for another show. Yeah, absolutely. I had to go with a bigger cup tonight.
That's okay. Well, and the thing about it is that, like you made a great point. The point is not can you, it's should you is exactly right. No, you should not do that. It's ridiculous to think that you should do that. And the logic of this person in their response is completely ridiculous. Well, if you don't like it, lock it. Or if you don't want the notifications, then turn off notifications. I shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to do that because you're a jerk and you found a code, and you think you're clever by doing that. I mean, that's, one of the things he went on to say was that, the hint that, he says they're hinting that geocaching is considered banning players. Oh yeah, they'll ban you, buddy. They're just going to find, I mean,
there's been people banned before.
I don't think this person is smart enough or to go find a geocache. I don't think they understand GPS or, they don't have the intelligence to do something like that, or have the wherewithal to understand how to geocache at all. I mean, I don't think they have the intelligence to do something like that.
Right.
They're just doing these kind of things. It's ridiculous.
They're just trying to call. It's just like trolling, right? If you look at the comments on if you look at the comments on some of the YouTube things that are out there, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
People have been banned for less. Yeah.
He was one who said, I'm very unhappy having to log. Exactly. You shouldn't have to. Yeah. You shouldn't have to lock anything.
No. And that's the thing, it doesn't matter if you can figure something out. That doesn't make it a good decision. And I think that's what this comes down to. It's just not a good decision.
Yeah. Eric brought up what also had the notes. I like Eric and I are on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
The same people that do this page also do puzzle spoilers. So, and we don't really have time to go into a full discussion of puzzle spoilers. That's for another show as well. But think about that from that perspective of somebody going out there and they discover, they figure out a puzzle and they're going to share it with everybody. I mean, that's not really in the spirit of the game either. Because
both on that though, right? I mean, so for me personally, I share mine. So obviously everybody knows that I put them in the books. I put them in, I like that comment. I put them in, I put them on my cache page. I put them everywhere because I want people to discover them constantly.
Different.
Now, I know there's probably fake logs in there, but I also do know people personally who some of their Trackables mean a lot to them. They only have a couple, or they're their tattoo or whatever else, and they really want to to share those with who they choose to. So for them is why I think that's why it irks me. And then the guy's response or, whatever else. Come on. I don't. Yeah. But
yeah, Jinxer has a good point. It's that go to a casino and card count. Tell me how that works out.
By the way, so for any recording, Gary was joking. Do not go do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But if you want to try it, they're going to catch you and they're going to kick you out of the casino. Absolutely. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So, and if you just go, hey, well, it's all, I can count cards because I can see all the cards. Why can't I count them? I mean, what's the point?
Right. And we'll have to postpone that one for another night. But that the cash spoiler, the puzzle spoiler.
Yeah.
There's some gray area there, right? I mean, I don't want to get into it tonight because it's too much. I'm not a fan of that, but I haven't looked into that one yet. But I know there's a lot of puzzle help pages where people get together and work on them together.
Well, that's a little different.
And then there's just the other extreme would be here's GC number so and so.
That's what they did. Yeah, they're not telling you how the puzzle was solved. They're just going, here's the GC to it.
Oh gosh, that's a fun show. I almost want to get into it now, but we can't. I know because I guarantee you, there's not a lot. Well, there's some people out there, but yeah. I know that I've been somewhere with a puzzle and somebody figured it out. I didn't sit there and solve it myself. You know what I mean?
The CFO has a good example. Puzzle help is different. It's different than what they're doing on this website. Yes.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't go on there, so I haven't seen it yet because
they're not
this show. So
they're not helping you solve a puzzle. They're going, here's the GC.
Oh, wow.
Here's the final chords. Go grab the cash because you don't need to do the puzzle at all because I got it for you. No, it's not good.
I like Tom's. There's a lot of difference between helping to solve a puzzle and here's the final.
Yes, exactly.
And hopefully that's what we do is help people. We don't sign their name on the log forum. So,
oh my gosh, can we do this? Oh my gosh, we're as bad as the people doing the thing. Pathfinder 33. Feel free to log it.
I love it.
Charles. So that's funny.
Yeah. But so there were so many, we're going to have to do another show on Trackable soon because there was a lot of stuff I wanted to get your opinion on this because I probably have a looser opinion on some things than you do when it comes to trackables, but, or even where do you put them? How long do you keep them? Do you drop them at events?
Oh, yeah.
I know I've had one of those big, hubcap trackables before, and the first event that came up, that's where that joker went because you couldn't.
Yeah, that's almost like a travel bug show versus a trackable. Trackables are maybe a little bit different.
Travel bugs, everything. We could.
Yeah, we could because, I appreciate the people who log thousands of legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
They log. Well, here's a good example. Tell me what you think about. I mean, this is pretty easy example, but we've all been at big events, Gigastock. Well, you weren't there.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Geo Woodstock, where as he puts his head down in shame. Geo Woodstock, where you'll notice you look at the parking lot and people are walking around and they're logging all the trackables out there that are on cars.
Well, that's what they're for, right?
Right. That's what they're for.
That's why I have one on my car because I want people to discover my Jeep when they walk by it. And driving down the street, I want people to do that.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But those are okay, but I don't like it. It's and I think geocaching.com did a good explanation is that this is not in the spirit of the sport,
right?
To go out there and to log these kind of things because you happen to be clever enough, or somebody was clever enough to show you, because you're not clever enough, but somebody showed you how to run this. Run a random number generator, and they generated codes, and then I guess they checked them all to see if they're legit, obviously. Yeah. But
I'm one of those that I log a lot of trackables.
Well. You've seen them.
Yeah, but I've seen tons of them. I probably have 400 on my phone right now that I haven't even had a chance to log.
Right.
But so I guess when it comes to it, I save them up for a long time and I log them all at one time and try to even off my trackable number a lot of times. on there, and then I'll save the rest. So I get another 100 or so and log them all at one time, just because it's a rounded off number on my. So I'm probably a terrible trackable logger as well, but I'm seeing them out there. You know what I mean? We go to these major events where we see tons of them.
Right.
And I have a buddy that probably owns over 1,000 himself.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot.
He loves trackables, right? I actually have two guys that I know in my area that I think they each own 1,000. And I've seen both of their collections. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm at their house and stuff like that. So, look here. Now we're become the show now.
Right. We're the ones sharing all the trackable codes. So,
no, so everybody does. Before we get wrapped up on this, we wanted to talk about this tonight because we're not going to give it a whole bunch more press than talking about it one time, because we're going to go back to the game, right? Everybody's going to do what they do. People are going to cheat. There's armchair loggers out there all the time.
Right.
But that's not the part of the game we want to focus on. It's the good parts.
Right.
But we do want to mention it because a lot of people, it's kind of a controversial topic right now. People are kind of interested in it and want to get the information out there. And here's the thing, if you go after the show and go, hey, I just heard about this cool list of trackables, and you go log them all, probably nothing's going to happen to you. You may get in trouble, but
you hit the wrong person. They turn you in.
So it's kind of your own risk. And what do you really gain out of it?
Right.
The whole thing's a game, just like your, cash count.
Yeah.
Nobody's paying you for if they are, send them my number. I want in on that gig.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. And there's no
totally random, but anybody on here from Miami? No, but I'll be there in like a week and a half. So
that's true, you will.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Direwolf's jumping and he wants everybody to do his. Just kidding.
That's a good one.
Don't log that one. Maybe it's not. It could be. I don't know if it's real. Yeah. So. I don't know. Somebody was asking me what the page is. I guess we could leave it in the show notes. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, it's in the show notes. It's not a secret, so we're not going to promote it and put it on the video, but it's in the show notes. You can go look it up.
Don't tell them they got it.
Want to get over there and look and see if your trackables are on there. That's probably not a terrible idea if you really watch your logs really well.
It's kind of hard to do. I don't know how you would search. I guess you could search their page for a code and see if it pops up. I guess that's the way to do it.
Chrissy said you can search it on Facebook pretty easily.
Oh, can you? Okay.
I'm going to point out that Chrissy decided to troll me in the chat room. I'm not going to be in Miami. I'm going to be in Orlando.
Well, you're close. You're pretty close.
I'm going to point out that she spelled that word wrong. So, I got her back.
But that's okay. But you will be close. You won't be in Miami, but you're a lot closer than Colorado.
Yeah, we'll be in Orlando, and they get two interesting. We'll get more than that, but we may get two interesting caches when we're down there, depending on how obviously we're not down there just for caching this time. We're down there for my daughter's cheer championships. But
that's pretty cool.
Two really interesting caches close by, and I am kind of racing Joshua on a certain list.
That's true.
That's out there, so I'd like to pick up one of those caches for sure.
Yeah, there's one in the in the 201 book, at least one down there.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? So, and here we go.
I think we've given them more than the 15 minutes. Yeah, we kind of have. I think it's more
for us. We're putting it to bed after this, and we're not gonna bring it up again. But
no,
we bring it up just because. Gary, you shared this originally with me, and
right.
We had some interesting conversation offline that we can't have online. So
right. Well, and it's not fame. We're pointing out that I guess it is fame in a sense, but we don't know their name. They're cowards. They wouldn't tell us their name anyway.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't.
They're cowards.
But it is what it is, right? And I think what we want to make sure that we finish with though is don't let it ruin your day. We talked about it today, and we had fun kind of joking about it and blowing off a little steam about it, but I'm not letting it ruin my game. Just like, I have some caches out there that are further away. And if somebody wanted to cheat and put a log on that, I wouldn't know for 6 months.
Right.
You know what I mean, when I finally go to do maintenance again, I don't have, but I didn't lose anything.
Right. Well, true.
Oh, wait, what? Webcam in Winter Park just outside Orlando.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, put that on the list.
Get you a webcam while you're there.
Webcam. Before it disappears, right?
Right. It comes back to integrity, and the best definition I heard about integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking at you.
Right.
And this person doesn't have any integrity. I mean, they're not.
No.
And so, I don't like this. And again, we could talk more about it, but to just tell people here's a GC and here's the final, and you don't have to worry about doing the puzzle. That's not in the spirit of the game or sport at all. I mean, that's not. If I go to the trouble of make a puzzle, I want people to. And I'm kind of like what Electric Waterboy says. Like, I'm okay with you working as a group to solve a puzzle. Personally, I'm fine with that. Or if somebody in your group is the one that solved it and you're just the driver, I'm okay with that. But to just blatantly just give out the final, to me, that's not part of the spirit of the sport.
Here you go. Cache Nick. We can think of it as a puzzle cache and try to analyze the writing style to figure out who it is. So, as much as I'd like to have my own personal conversation with somebody like this, more for their snarky attitude than anything, or let them come on the show, that's not what we're advocating, right? We have too many smart people in the chat room and too many people figuring out puzzles as a hobby, thousands of puzzles.
Yes.
We're not saying go track down who this person is and out them or anything like that.
Yeah.
Not because they don't deserve it, but because it's not worth your time.
Right.
Any time spent doing that could be time spent out, finding caches or putting out a great new cache and not worrying about somebody like that. That's what this little 12-year-old boy, whoever he is, that's what he wants, and it's not worth the trouble. So. Hey, you don't know that I'm wrong.
I don't. It's just so funny. It's like snot-nosed kid. You're like, they're not old enough to have a Fortnite, to get into Fortnite, but they're old enough to mess with travel bugs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, they got banned from Fortnite for bad language or something, so now they got to do this for a little while.
They got bored, so they want to do that. So
here's the question I would ask.
All right.
You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Okay.
What, if anything, should happen to this person if they are discovered who it is?
Well,
and I'll open that up to the chat room too.
The problem is that they don't, from what I can see or read, they don't geocache. So you can't block their geocaching account because they don't geocache. Facebook doesn't care because in a kind of sense, Facebook, I don't really think has, I mean, I can see that Facebook doesn't really have any kind of ownership of this, I don't know.
Why would they? Yeah.
But then again, I mean, it's people, they have banned people on Facebook for less than this.
Yeah. So you haven't answered the question, just by the way.
Oh,
what do you think, if anything, should happen to them?
Ban them from geocache. I mean, you can't really do anything else. What else can you do? You mean they don't? I can't. I don't think you could claim a theft impalement on Julie D. That's a little harsh.
I am not messing with Julie D.
Impalement. She's just tear them from limb to limb, where they used to tie one piece to each horse and have the horse stick. No, I don't think you can do anything. Tar and feather. By the way,
I had to find a micro in the woods.
Yeah, there you go. I don't think, and if people know, tar and feathering was horrible. I mean, we're talking about hot tar on a body and then feather them. It's not like in the cartoons. I know. Yeah, see, Charles is right.
Wolf has got it.
I think doing anything Might encourage them to go put it back up. Might encourage them to do something else. Just ignore the bully and maybe they'll go away. That's Direwolf saying that. That's probably
the proper thing to say. I always preferred to say punch the bully in the nose.
Yeah.
But that's not appropriate, especially when it's a 12-year-old boy. So
Tell
we're
her
not
mommy.
advocating any violence on this person or persons that did this.
Right.
And if they're not a trackable, if they're not a
geocacher,
trackable collector, or they're not a geocacher, there's not really a lot you can do in our game to do anything to them. So it's probably not worth it, right?
No. What's interesting is that I like the approach that geocaching took was, if you log, forget about the person who gave out all the codes.
Yeah.
If you log a bunch of trackable codes because you happen to find them and people start sending emails to geocaching.com saying, hey, Memphis Mafia, this person, if they start getting multiple emails saying, hey, this person logged my trackables and they've never seen my trackables, and you get 7 or 8 of these emails, you're going to get banned, and you should get banned. So
right. And we are not advocating violence. Just to be clear, all joking aside,
we do not advocate violence. We just
caching to New York, there's no point. It will all gradually go away in time. Absolutely true.
Probably true. Yeah.
It's been fun to talk about and joke about, but after this show's over, that's the last I'll even think about this thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't care about this list. I'm not going to go look up the list. I don't really care. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to start, because I'm not that person. I'm not going to police my trackable codes. I think 150 that are currently active right now. Right. And I have that many more sitting on my shelf in here. I'm not going to watch all those logs every single day.
Jenny says invite them to do best. The people there will take care of them. That's for sure.
But you know what? I just don't ruin the game for somebody else. Whatever you're doing, don't be a spoiler, right? But at the same time, I hope everybody listening to this just ignores it from now on and goes back to caching the fun way and doing whatever part of the game that you like. Focus on that part, not the negative part. This stuff comes up, but it's not worth dealing with.
Absolutely. All right.
And now this is going to be a second part show. We're going to have to do our trackable ethics show another day because it's a hard time talking about this guy.
I know. The 12-year-old boy.
I'll call him Skippy for now.
Yeah, Skippy. We'll just ignore Skippy. Now, but if actual geocachers, which I like this point, was the fact that if regular geocachers go look at these lists and start logging stuff, that's you're not only encouraging them, but you are subject, I think, to being banned.
Yeah, man. Could you imagine being banned?
Oh no, I don't.
I would be an unhappy camper.
Yeah, can you imagine? Because when you get banned, they take every one of your geocaches and disable them. Typically,
wow,
automatically disabled. So all of these caches that you have, boop boop boop, disabled. Now they'll re-enable them after a month or whatever your banishment time is, but
so
you can't log anything.
Somebody on the show that's been banned?
Well, we had David on.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Drives was banned.
We didn't really talk about the banning part though.
No, we didn't really talk about the banning part, but
that's just, oh my gosh.
I just know I watched some of
change the day a lot. Imagine if geocaching was just taken from you immediately.
Yeah, that's almost for another show, is the whole banning. We mentioned about Drives.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back. He's fine.
But yeah, he's all good. You know what? I've thought of times where I've almost fired it off emails that could have gotten me in trouble too. So I'm glad. Woo!
Yeah. Somebody mentioned earlier, I missed it in the chat room, is flying by a little bit tonight, which was that bad mouthing reviewer. If you go too far, they'll ban you for bad mouthing one of their volunteers. Just
because, oh my gosh, that job. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
I try to send them thank you notes a lot.
Absolutely.
Especially just for putting up with me. But I mean, I'm always pushing it, right? But that's a volunteer think if all of those guys got mad one time and quit all of a sudden.
Oh no.
There's no new caches coming out.
No, and there's going to be. We'll get into the details later. But we are going to have an appreciation. Last year we did an appreciate geocaching.com. Joshua's put out a new type this year, and we'll get into it when we get closer to the date.
Oh yeah.
But that'll be really cool.
We definitely want to represent with that. That was an awesome, classy move.
Yeah,
and we definitely want to support that again this year. So
we need happy geocaching news. There's a lot of great stuff going on.
Gary, you have some that you could share if you chose to.
I do. Which part is that?
The screenshot of the email that you sent me.
Screenshot.
You're not going to share that?
Screenshot of the email. What did I send you? Now
HQ recently?
Now I'm curious. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I could.
What do you think? You're so humble about it. Come on now.
I never get them, so I don't know what to do. So I was awarded Adventure Lab, 5 Adventure Labs. So
I think that's awesome. I got some too, and I've been rubbing it in, and now I can't because you got them. But
I know.
I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And, actually, I haven't seen him in here tonight. Bounce is not in here tonight, is he?
No, I didn't see him tonight.
He's not in here tonight, but I've been talking to Bounce. I mean, if you want to do something awesome and put an awesome cache, you go straight to the source, right? So,
oh, absolutely.
And first thing I got in mind, I was like, I know who I'm calling to help me build some gadget caches for these labs. Because nothing says you can't put a gadget in there, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll have to talk to you about that because I've got really kind of an idea. Locally, we have Audie Murphy, who most decorated. He's from Greenville, or just north of Greenville. Thank you, Sherry. Yes. So I think I'm going to tie it in with Audie Murphy, who again, most decorated person in World War II. I'm sorry, most decorated in World War II. And he's from we claim him in Greenville. He was just north of Greenville. But that'll be fun. We have a nice museum here, nice statues. So I know we're going to be able to put out some cool Adventure Labs. There's no one anywhere near. I mean, the closest to us is Dallas. Is closest. Actually, I think Fort Worth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got some down in Denver right now, don't you?
We got a bunch.
Yeah.
Colorado is just lucky we have a lot of really active people. So we have a lot of, and I think we've already talked about it a little bit, but there's a group of 6 of us that each got 5 labs. So we put out a series of 30 Adventure Labs all at one time.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yossi had a good idea. Put his Adventure Labs inside puzzle caches.
Yep. We're doing that.
So you get 10 finds. That's neat.
Yeah, we're kind of doing not really bonuses, but you kind of tie it into some physical caches as well.
That's cool.
We rescheduled what we were going to talk about today, and I'm dying to talk about all the new things coming out, but out of respect to Brian, when he gets to come on, we're kind of waiting because there's so many exciting things happening right now, and just community celebrations and labs and virtuals and all the, locationless stuff. We got a lot to talk about coming up. We do.
We've got Brian scheduled again. Brian will be on.
I want to do we need to make sure we'll get to it. There's a lot for another show, right? I mean, we need to do
a lot.
Celebration show, another lab show as they all come out and evolve. There's so much.
Yeah, what's interesting is we're scheduled out quite a ways with some incredible shows. So again, this week Geocache Talk Presents will come out in a couple of days. It's Sunday right now. It'll be out Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have some incredible shows coming up. We've got next week, Craig will be on. Craig Michelle, See My Shell. He'll be on the show. We'll get some updates from Australia and what he's up to, and then in 2 weeks, we're going to be talking about the Texas Challenge and Festival, the 18th. It's their 18th annual, Jesse. 18 years.
I know.
It's incredible. It's the oldest mega. I would suggest going to that because it's always incredible. It's going to be in Round Rock this year. Wow, Round Rock is a caching, mecca for Central Texas. It's really need Mingo news. Yeah, we got Mingo news to give out.
That will be They've got the maze for sure.
Yeah, I got the maze, got some other stuff, but not
to make this the Mingo show because you and I are so excited about.
I know.
We try to tease it out a little bit, right? Give the information when we can, but we can't talk about it every week, even though we're both excited because we get to help out in a small way with it. So,
yeah, another Texas challenge. You're right. He's Texas Dave. Another Texas challenge coming up. So, yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. There's some cool things that are gonna come on the show in a couple of weeks and give us all the details. They'll have some great stuff to talk about, but that's worth the time. And like I said, there's a lot of the cool thing about some of the megas, especially for the Texas megas, it moves around the state. So I like that kind of idea to move them around a little bit because it's close to Austin. So if you want to check out all the ones in Austin as well as Round Rock, there's the Necropolis, which is still it's a 10-stage multi. It's one of the most incredible multis, in the world. I mean, I wouldn't say but it's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's worth the time to do that. You can fly into Austin and then just drive up to Round Rock's just basically a suburb now. But anyway, that'll be in a couple weeks. And then we've got a bunch of shows coming up. Like I said, we rescheduled Brian. He'll be on in February. We'll talk about geocaching in this year in 2020. And a lot of other cool shows are set up. So we're excited. It's amazing. We've got so much going on.
It'll be halfway into 2020 before you know it. It'll be Mingo before you know it.
It will be. All right. You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah. Since we have to, we can wrap it up.
I know. It's one of those things. We're going to wrap it up tonight, but that was fun. Thanks, everybody. We're just going to do the outro. Come here, outro. Where are you? Where are you, outro? There you are.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight, as well as our new format. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.
All right. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.